Why do people commit suicide? Emile Durkheim was one of the first social theorists to study this question. In his 1897 book, Suicide, he attempted to highlight the social causes of suicide and bring scientific reasoning to its study. Durkheim referred to suicide as a social fact, a social phenomenon that transcends the individual and acts as a constraint on the behaviors of a group. Durkheim's idea was that suicide is driven by social causes instead of just being the final act of a disturbed person. He concluded there are two social factors that influence the likelihood of someone taking their own life: integration and regulation. Integration refers to the depth of social connections between an individual and a group. Regulation considers the demands placed on an individual by that group. Durkheim argued that people who aren't well integrated or regulated are more likely to commit suicide. He further believed that the degree of their integration and regulation shapes their motivation for the act. Durkheim supported his theory through a study of 4 separate countries with distinct, stable suicide rates. In doing this, he brought scientific methods, namely statistical analysis, to the study of social facts. To understand Durkheim's theory better, let's look at the analogy of traffic on a motorway. The traffic is both integrated and regulated. Each individual driver is roughly aware of the others and follows the rules of the road. Under the prevailing theory prior to Durkheim's writing, traffic accidents would be seen as the result of crazy individual drivers. Under Durkheim's approach, however, traffic accidents are seen as the result of a failure of integration or regulation. People may not pay enough attention to each other, or rules may not be widely enforced. In this way, traffic accidents are social facts. A failure of integration or regulation means that accidents will happen. Social facts can differ from place to place, and they're not always obvious. For example, in one country, drivers edge others out of the way to gain as much space as possible, and beeping and hand signals are used more frequently. However, traffic is still regulated and integrated, though in a very different form. People know the informal rule of getting as much space as possible without contact and remain highly aware of each other. To Durkheim, as drivers become more regulated and integrated, the risk of accidents will drop. The book Suicide and further work by Durkheim helped create the discipline of sociology. It remains an important study today.